Okay, so last night I was at the White House Correspondents' events that were at the Hilton. And for those of you who don't know, basically there's the dinner. And then before the dinner at the Hilton, there are other rooms where other news organizations will have parties like CBS, Politico, NPR, yada, yada. And so a lot of folks who don't have tickets to the dinner, which is common, like, usually a news organization will have some guests, they'll choose some of their journalists, but then all those people also get all these other events that go on. And then there'll be like watch parties that are around the vicinity. So last night I was there for some of the other events. I was not a ticketed guest, but just as that happened, I was still in the lobby, running into friends, taking pictures, yada, yada. And then I left to go to another event down the street, the Substack event. So one of the things that we were all talking about, folks who have been at these events many times, sometimes in the room for the ticketed event, sometimes not, is that yes, the security is not like the best. You just have to show a ticket. You have to go through these long lines. You really just need to go through the metal detectors when you go into the actual dinner. And so that is obviously weakness in the security situation. And there are people staying at the hotel, very confused about what's going on. So there's lots of little like loopholes in the actual building. But, I want to add a major but. We have not had President Trump in particular at any of these events since 2011, I believe. So this is the first time he showed up to any of these events. And when there is a president on premise, now, anybody who has been to any sort of presidential event, who's worked in advance, a lot of journalists, you know that you have to get screened in advance. You have to have your social security number run through a Secret Service. I think some exceptions would be maybe a rally, but there's also they do like lockdowns around everything. So what I'm really confused about is how the president was there on site and there wasn't a total lockdown. And I mean, yes, the guy ran through the metal detector part where you're entering that specific ballroom. But the entrance, I mean, the streets were locked off. Protesters could get through if they wanted to. It wasn't super difficult. They could possibly get into the actual hotel. But once the president is on site, that's when it locks down. And that's when I left to go to this other event down the street. And at that other event down the street, we were on lockdown once this all went down. I mean, everybody was, to be fair. But I think what's confusing is just where were the loopholes in that area? Because there are very strict rules when it comes to being on a site with the president and also just how for instance, when the president comes to New York City, they have boats on the East River and the Hudson looking for, I guess, explosives or other different types of devices. Like, that's how serious the security is. I know it's DC. I know it's a little bit different because he comes in and out of events, but Secret Service is highly equipped on this. And I would love to know if anybody here has done advanced Secret Service, if any journalists might know. This is where I'm just a little confused. How someone could get through while the president was there. Not like he was hiding out in the bathrooms, like he came through the lobby while the president was on site. So help me out.